And this presentation is copyrighted by American Wood Council. If you'd like to use any portion of the presentation, please contact me and we can expedite that. And then the course description was provided in the handout as well as the learning objectives. Now, a little bit about American Wood Council and the National Design Specification for Wood Construction. If you are not familiar with American Wood Council, the NDS actually was first started in or created or published in 1944 in conjunction with the Forest Products Lab. And you can see through the various years that we've introduced new additions to reflect what's going on in the industry, new technology, et cetera, et cetera. And prior to being American Wood Council, we were known as AFMPA, American Forest and Paper Association. And you might find that reference in the code maybe as late as 2005. I think 2008 we've caught up to all the references to AFMPA. But AFMPA and American Wood Council are one and the same. And so if you see a reference to that, they're talking about American Wood Council. And what we see here is now we'll be talking about the 2018 NDS, and that is what will be adopted under the 2018 IBC, or has been referenced there. But we're still under the 2015 Special Design Provisions for Wind and Seismic. Some people call that SPIDWIS, Wind and Seismic Provision. So no changes there. American Wood Council is currently working on the 2021 Wind and Seismic Provisions. And this is all done through an ANSI Accredited Standards developer. So AWC is the ANSI Accredited Standards developer, and we do that through a consensus body through the Wood Design Standards Committee. Now, just to give you an overview of the presentation and how we're going to progress through the presentation, we're going to start off with some changes related to the 2018 IBC that are related to wood construction. And a lot of the changes that I'm going to be talking about have to do with fire resistance. I know as structural engineers, and I believe most of you are structural engineers, we don't delve into fire protection, but these provisions that are related to woods construction are something that you, the architect, will need to coordinate with you, and to be familiar with them, that would be very helpful with these changes. And then we'll look at a high-level view at ASCE 716 and some of the changes related to the effects that they have on wood construction or structural engineering in general. And then we'll get into 2018 NDS and some of the significant changes related to that. And then, time permitting, we'll give you a high-level view of some major changes that are going to occur in the 2021 IBC related to mass timber construction or tall wood buildings. Okay, the major changes related to the IBC are shown here, related to exterior balconies, fire retardant treated wood, heavy timber, and mass timber. Mass timber now is not yet defined, there's no definition for mass timber in the 2018 IBC, but there will be one in the 2020-21, which has already been approved. And then we'll look at construction type. Okay, so when we look at our code and look at the changes, I just wanted to review how you can progress through the code and look at what has changed and the significant marginal markings that are in the code. It gives you, alerts you on whether or not something has changed. Now, the first one has to do with vertical lines. There's a bold vertical line that has to do with a technical change that has occurred in the code. And if you can see here, a horizontal heavy arrow line, that means something has been removed from, or a deletion in the code. And then we have an asterisk. A single asterisk would mean that something that was in the code at that location has been moved to another area in the code. And then double asterisk is whatever text or table immediately following that has been relocated to that location. So it was once in another area of the code and now is located where the double asterisks are. Now, this summation table right here shows the areas where there's been relocation of content. And most of this has to do with wood construction related to Chapter 7 and Chapter 23 and Chapter 6, which is having to do with types of construction. So a lot of this related to wood construction, and we'll go over that when we get further on into the presentation.